Hello and a warm welcome to South Asia Today, where we bring you in-depth insights into the key events shaping South Asia. I am Shivangi Mishra and here are today's top stories. Several Indians, including Nepali national, dead in Pahalgam attack. Redefining roles as women leads India's growth. And lawyers protest injustice plan to close Karakoram highway. Let's begin the show. The recent terrorist attack in Pahalgam, Jammu and Kashmir has sent shock waves across the globe. On April 22, 2025, terrorists targeted a group of tourists, resulting in the death of at least 26 people and injuring more than 15 others. From the Solman military honours for Indian naval officer Lieutenant Vinay Narwal to the heart-wrenching loss of Nepali national Sudeep Neupane, India stands united in grief, honouring the memory of those lost in this senseless act of violence. We have a report.
The recent terrorist attack in Pahalgam, Jammu and Kashmir has left the world in shock. On 22nd of April, terrorists opened fire on tourists in Pahalgam, resulting in the deaths of at least 26 visitors and injuring over 15 others. India bid a teary-eyed farewell as mortal remains of victims killed in Pahalgam terror attack arrived at their family residences. Among the victims was 26-year-old Indian naval officer Lieutenant Vinay Narwal, a resident of Karnal, who was on vacation with his wife of 6 days in the picturesque meadow. As per the wife's account, the naval officer was shot down by a terrorist after asserting his identity. He was cremated with full military honours in his hometown. PM Modi, who cut short his Saudi Arabia trip after the brutal attack, spoke at an event in Bihar and highlighted that it was not just an attack on unarmed tourists, but an attack on India's soul. He vowed to pursue, track and punish terrorists and their backers.
22 अप्रैल को जम्मू कश्मीर के पहलगाम में आतंकियों ने मासूम देशवासियों को जिस बेरहमी से मारा है, उससे पूरा देश व्यथित है। कोटि कोटि देशवासी दुखी हैं। सभी पीड़ित परिवारों के इस दुख में पूरा देश उनके साथ खड़ा है। जिन परिवारजनों का अभी इलाज चल रहा है, वे जल्द स्वस्थ हो, इसके लिए भी सरकार हर प्रयास कर रही है। जिन्होंने ये हमला किया है, उन आतंकियों को और इस हमले की साजिश रचने वालों को उनकी कल्पना से भी बड़ी सजा मिलेगी। सजा मिलकर के रहेगी। अब आतंकियों की बची खुची जमीन को भी मिट्टी में मिलाने का समय आ गया है।
Among the deceased was Sudeep Neupane, a national of Nepal who had been travelling in the region as part of a leisure trip. Sudeep, accompanied by his mother Reema Pandey, sister Sushma and brother-in-law Ujjwal Kafle, had set out on a trip to Jammu and Kashmir on Saturday, April 19. According to his grandfather Khemananda Neupane, the terrorists asked Sudeep about his religion and then shot him dead. The family learned of the tragedy early Wednesday morning, plunging them into shock and sorrow.
होइन अब घुम्न गएका अब आफू घर गएका आमा छोरा अब छोरी श्रीमान भएर गएका अरू को गएको थिए के गएको थिए अब उसले चाहिँ गोली हानेर मारिदिएछ होइन त्यो अब त्यहाँ मुसलमान उसले के हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि होइन हामी हिन्दू भनिन्छन् कि हिन्दू भनेपछि कहाँ गोली हान्छ त्यही सुन्थेँ कि मैले
Sudeep's death underscores the international dimension of the tragedy and the far-reaching impact of the violence. The attack has sent shockwaves across the region, drawing condemnation from both local and international communities and prompting calls for enhanced security measures to protect civilians and tourists in conflict-prone areas.
उतै बुहारीले छोराले थाहा पाएछ नि तिनीहरूले सुनाएर भरेङ्ग भयो म त्यति अर्थु मलाई कहाँ यहाँ बसिया छैनन् के उता कालिका नगरतिर बसिया छन् अहिले यही माग आएर मसित एउछिन बसेर बिरामी भए मलाई थाहा दिनु होला आमा भनेर गएको
India is in mourning over the loss of innocent lives with the victims' coffins brought to Srinagar airport. Indian Home Minister Amit Shah visited Pahalgam to pay his respects to the deceased. The attack occurred during peak tourist season in Pahalgam, a scenic destination that has seen a surge in visitors since the abrogation of Article 370 in 2019. Tourists were seen returning from the region following the terror attack, with Indian Airlines operating extra flights and Indian Railway running a special train. The attack has attained condemnation from various sectors, with the people of the Union Territory observing a shutterdown strike, denouncing the terror attack in Pahalgam. Heightened security measures have been put in place and visuals from the region show empty streets in what is normally a lively tourist destination. Several organizations have also called for a Jammu Bandh in protest of the attack.
Women in India are shifting the narrative, taking the wheel, leading boardrooms and reshaping fields, both corporate and agricultural. With rising employment and sharper financial savvy, they are not just entering the workforce, they are redefining it. Stay with us for powerful stories of women breaking barriers and building legacies.
The women you see on screen are steering toward independence with the Azad Foundation's Women with Wheels initiative. This flagship program empowers women from low-income communities, breaking stereotypes about what a woman's job should be. From their first learner's permit to a permanent license, they are guided every mile on 2 wheels or 4.
स्कूटी चलाना बचपन से ही सीखना चाहती थी। मैंने अपनी लाइफ में साइकिल भी नहीं चलाई है, बट मुझे यहाँ पे आके स्कूटी चलाने का सीखने का मौका दिया जा रहा था, तो मैंने स्कूटी चलाना सीखा। अब अचीव ये करना चाहती हूँ मैं कि जैसे कि यहाँ पे स्कूटी चलाना सीख गई हूँ, मेरा लाइसेंस बन गया, तो मैं चाहती हूँ कि मैं जॉब करूँ। मैं भी मतलब बाकी लोगों की तरह चला सकती हूँ, लड़कों की बराबरी में खड़े होकर स्कूटी चला सकती हूँ। हमें यहाँ पे ऐसा सिखाया जाता है, तो मैं कर सकती हूँ और बाकी की महिलाएँ भी कर सकती हैं।
Since its inception in 2008, the Azad Foundation has been transforming lives, training over 300 women each year through its centers in many cities across India. Alongside its flagship driving program, it runs impactful initiatives like the Feminist Leadership Program, Men for Gender Justice, and Azad Kishori, all aimed at building a more just, inclusive society.
जो महिलाएं हमारी रिसोर्स पुअर वुमेन हैं और उनको साधन उपलब्ध नहीं है जहां वो आगे निकल के अपनी पहचान बनाएं, और अगर वो आगे निकलती भी हैं तो उनके लिए वही रोज़गार उपलब्ध हैं जो परंपरागत हैं, जो चलते आ रहे हैं। वो टीचिंग करें, मेहंदी, सिलाई, ब्यूटिशियन। और आज़ाद फाउंडेशन ने ये सोचा कि हम उनके लिए जो रोज़गार के साधन उपलब्ध कराएं वो उस फील्ड में जो उनके लिए गैर परंपरागत हैं और एक तरह से उस फील्ड के दरवाजे उनके लिए बंद हैं। तो उन्होंने ड्राइविंग की शुरुआत की इस सोच के साथ कि महिलाएं जब बाहर निकलेंगी तो दूसरी महिलाएं भी सुरक्षित होंगी।
In the fast-paced streets of Indian cities, where two-wheelers weave through traffic, Rapido is adding a bold new hue, pink. Through its Empower Her initiative, Rapido launched Pink Mobility to help women across the country earn a sustainable income. The launch event brought together thought leaders, NGOs, gig workers, and women captains, all united in their commitment to women's empowerment.
Over the last decade, we have almost created like 9 million jobs, and we have one of the core values is women empowerment. So right now we believe this is the right time to have dialogue on the pink mobility in itself. So we have piloted this for last 3 years in few of the top cities in the country and had some learnings, and now we believe it's time to spread the wings, scale, and look at how do we bring more inclusion of women workforce even to the gig workforce.
From boardrooms to farmlands and bustling city streets, women in India are not just participating, they are leading the way. Across sectors like mobility, fashion, educational technology, and agriculture, they are not only excelling but uplifting communities and driving the nation's progress. According to a 2025 Niti Aayog report, 27 million women are now actively monitoring their credit, a remarkable 42% rise from the previous year, reflecting a power surge in financial awareness and independence.
Where we have to create jobs for women which cater to the need for flexible work, gig work, so on and so forth. But it's also important to create non-traditional job roles, to look at job roles which have been traditionally devoted to men. And I think there technology plays a very significant role, because technology can actually enable women to participate in these roles. Like we're traditional in retail sector, in manufacturing sector, in agricultural sector.
The rising presence of women in business, agriculture, and mobility is more than a gender milestone. It's a triumph for the nation. Economies flourish when women participate. Communities prosper when women lead. And societies transform when women are empowered with equal opportunities.
Now we take a look at some happenings in Asia in a segment called Asia Watch.
US Vice President J.D. Vance, accompanied by his wife Usha and 3 children, visited the iconic Taj Mahal in Agra, India this week. The Vance family was seen enjoying the majestic views as they walked through the garden and posed for pictures with the magnificent monument in the background. Engaging with the local guide, they explored the historical site, even looking from a balcony on one of the side faces of the Taj Mahal. This visit is part of a broader tour of India, which includes stops in New Delhi and Jaipur. Vance is on a mostly personal 4-day visit to India along with his wife, who is the daughter of Indian immigrants, and their 3 children. India is seeking an early trade deal with the US, its largest trading partner, before the end of a 90-day pause on the steep tariffs announced by Trump administration. The 13th International Security, Defense and Cybersecurity Exhibition commenced at the Baghdad International Fair, featuring international participants including prominent displays from the United States, China and Iran. Sabah Al-Numan, spokesperson for the Commander-in-Chief of the Iraqi Armed Forces, told Reuters that the exhibition is an opportunity for the Iraqi security ministries to learn about the latest technologies from companies and countries abroad. The Iraqi government departments and ministry have specific tasks and require weapons that will aid in the success of their mission as well as technical advancement, Al-Numan added. This year's exhibition includes 150 companies representing 20 Arab and foreign nations, alongside 65 Iraqi companies. The exhibition presents a platform for exchanging expertise and discovering the latest technology in weaponry, ammunition, and surveillance systems from foreign companies. Hundreds of elderly Argentines marched toward the Casa Rosada presidential palace, with some carrying banners depicting the late Pope Francis to recall his social justice message. Riot police were deployed as demonstrators beat metal cans and banged pots and chanted slogans demanding better retirement benefit. Retirees are protesting President Javier Milei's austere measures, which they claim have significantly impacted their livelihoods, resulting in a loss of purchasing power and restriction on access to medication and health services. The demonstration ended outside the presidential palace, where protesters continued their call for economic relief for Argentina's retirees.
For the people of Pakistan-occupied Gilgit-Baltistan, justice isn't delayed, it's disappeared. For nearly 7 months, the region courts have remained paralyzed. Judges haven't been appointed, cases are piling up, and citizens are left stranded in legal darkness. Now, with no signs of change, lawyers say they are ready to block the Karakoram highway, the region's very lifeline. Have a look.
In a place where mountains tower high, people's hope in justice has hit rock bottom. Gilgit-Baltistan's highest court has no judges, not for days or weeks, but for nearly 7 months. Over 12,000 cases now sit idle, and there is no indication of when or if justice will resume. Land disputes, criminal appeals, family cases, all frozen. For citizens seeking justice, it is like knocking on a locked door again and again with no one inside. Lawyers say the very foundation of the judicial system has crumbled, and with it, the people's faith in governance.
सुप्रीम अपीलेट कोर्ट में गुज़श्ता 6-7 सालों से जजेस नहीं थे और तकरीबन 10-12 हज़ार केसेस पेंडिंग में थे। तो ये अवामी मसाइल हैं, क्योंकि अवाम का जब ऊपर अपीलें नहीं चल रही तो नीचे अदालतें चलाने का भी फ़ायदा नहीं है।
But this is more than a legal deadlock. It is a humanitarian crisis in the making. When courts go silent, the vulnerable suffer first. In villages and towns across the region, families are stuck in legal limbo. Land disputes linger unresolved for years. Inheritance cases stall generations, and victims of violence see their complaints vanish into files no one opens. Their protest is a cry for structure, for rule of law, and for a judicial system that serves the people instead of abandoning them. Without proper judges, one individual is tasked with wearing multiple hats as magistrate, civil judge, and more, creating a chaotic overlap that is both unsustainable and unjust.
तीसरी बात यह कि वकुला प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट है, जिसमें पूरे पाकिस्तान में वकुला के बाबत प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट है, और लेकिन यहाँ गिलगित बल्तिस्तान में नहीं है। इसी तरह यहाँ पर जो जुडिशरी है उस जिसमें वकुला भी अवाम भी सफ़र हो रहे हैं, क्योंकि जुडिशल मजिस्ट्रेट और सिविल जज को एक ही पोस्ट दे के उसमें तमाम मुकदमात उसके ऊपर जिम्मेदारी दी गई है। तो उसमें यह कि पेशियाँ ज़्यादा होने की वजह से तारीखों पर तारीखें पड़ती है, लोग फिर वकुला से नाला होते हैं कि भाई ये तारीखें लेते हैं, तो काम का बर्डन इतना होता है कि काम नहीं निकलता आगे से।
And yet, despite repeated protests, letters and press briefings, there has been deafening silence from the assembly. Not a single special session has been called, not a single legislative move to resolve the crisis. What stings more is that of the region's elected lawmakers are lawyers themselves, professionals who understand the gravity of this collapse, and still they have looked the other way. To the legal community, this is not just apathy, it is betrayal, a deliberate failure to act, leaving an entire population stranded in uncertainty. As frustration deepens, lawyers warn that if those in power continue to ignore the courts, they will soon find the roads blocked too, starting with the Karakoram highway. The Nagar Bar Council has extended its strike until April 26. If their demands remain ignored, lawyers say they will shut down the Karakoram highway, a move that could disrupt life across the entire region. They are not just demanding rights, they are demanding to be heard. When justice stops, society suffers. In Gilgit-Baltistan, it is not just lawyers, it is fathers waiting for land cases, women seeking maintenance, and youth chasing accountability. They have waited long enough, now they are ready to stand on the road until someone listens.
Giving a major boost to road connectivity in the far-flung and hilly areas of India's Jammu and Kashmir, a new road is being constructed under the PM Gram Sadak Yojana in the Rajouri district. One of the standout initiatives is the construction of a 22-kilometer road that links Kalakot to Siot Road. The project aims to provide better access to these far-flung regions, facilitating smoother transportation and enhancing the overall infrastructure in the region.
Road connectivity in far-flung hilly areas plays a crucial role in improving the quality of life for residents and driving regional development. It also facilitates better mobility for tourists, boosts local economies and helps in disaster management. A notable initiative in improving road connectivity in the Rajouri region is the 22-kilometer road project linking Kalakot to Siot Road. This key stretch of road is set to significantly enhance accessibility between these two areas, which were previously difficult to reach due to challenging terrain.
जो हमारी सियोट से कालाकोट रोड थी, काफ़ी देर से काम इसका बंद था, अब स्टार्ट हो गया है। बहुत सहूलत है। अब इधर छोटे छोटे बच्चे स्कूल जाते थे, बहुत प्रॉब्लम, गाड़ियाँ नहीं चल पाती थी अच्छे टाइम टू टाइम, बहुत ज़्यादा प्रॉब्लम थी। अब काम स्टार्ट है, अब चल रहा है काम, अच्छी जल्दी से चल रहा है और 2-3 ब्रिज हैं, उनका काम भी चल रहा है बड़ी जल्दी से।
Key highlights of this project include upgraded infrastructure, where the road has been expanded from a single lane to a 2-lane route, greatly improving travel efficiency and safety for commuters. Second, bridge construction, in which 2 bridges are included in the project. One has already been completed, while the second is nearing completion. And economic impact. The road is said to benefit lakhs of people by easing travel challenges, creating job opportunities, and supporting the growth of local businesses.
बाकी रोड का तो बुरा हाल था, इतना बुरा हाल था कि पैदल चलना भी मुश्किल था, लेकिन जो काम हो रहा है बहुत अच्छा हो रहा है। उसके बाद जो काम कर रहे हैं हमारे ठेकेदार, जो ऐसा काम हो रहा है अच्छा ही हो रहा है, रोड अच्छा बन चुका है, थोड़ा जो फर्क है वो भी ठीक हो जाएगा।
The blacktopping work is advancing swiftly and is now in its final stages. The improved road connectivity between Kalakot and Siot is proving to be a major relief for the large population residing in the remote areas of Rajouri district. Once completed, the road will provide smoother and more reliable transport options for local residents, reducing travel time and improving overall connectivity. This project is expected to bring vital benefits such as better access to healthcare, education and markets, while also fostering economic growth in the region.
आज मैं इस गवर्नमेंट का शुक्रिया अदा करता हूं कि इस गवर्नमेंट ने जो हमारे पर एक बहुत बड़ा आसान किया, इस रोड का पैसा जो है वो रखा और आज इसका टेंडर हुआ। आज आधी रोड जो है वो कंप्लीट होने को जा रही है, सोलकी से लेकर कालाकोट तक जो है। यहाँ की जो गवर्नमेंट है, ख़ास करके मोदी साहब की गवर्नमेंट, इसके हम मशकूर हैं कि इन्होंने बहुत बड़ा आसान किया है कि जो हमारे पर कि हमारी ये रोड जो है इसका काम जो है वो शुरू करवाया। हम उसके बहुत बड़े आभारी हैं और आसानमंद हैं।
This strategic development aims to connect remote villages nestled in the mountainous terrain, which have long struggled with limited access to essential services. It will open up new opportunities for economic activities, particularly in agriculture and small-scale trade, thereby uplifting the socio-economic conditions of the local population. The PMGSY initiative continues to play a crucial role in reducing regional disparities and promoting inclusive development across Jammu and Kashmir.
As we wrap up today's episode of South Asia Today, we thank you for joining us. We'll return next week at the same time with more insights and updates. This is Shivangi Mishra signing off on behalf of our entire team. Until then, stay safe and goodbye.